Here we are hosting another celebration commemorating Hispanic Heritage Month. This is our seventh, as it was already mentioned, of course. We're doing it in a virtual fashion. I started these commemorations 7 years ago because our nation, state, and county are enriched by the Latin American community, whose members have important roles in shaping our character as a community with limitless possibilities. Montgomery County's Latin American population totals more than 207,500 residents who represent more than 22 countries of origin. Of course, at the national level, the Latin American community is about 60 million strong. Here in Montgomery County, our largest population of Latin American residents come from El Salvador, Mexico, Peru, Guatemala, and Honduras. Our county is truly a microcosm of our nation's changing demographics, and it's important that we celebrate our shared heritage by recognizing the valuable contributions that the Latin American community makes across our county, especially during a time marked by what I call the twin pandemics, COVID-19 and the renewed reckoning with systemic racism. Last year, our council's Hispanic Heritage Month was historic. For the first time ever, we had live music and salsa dancing in the council's hearing room. It was a high energy, celebratory event. This year is a more somber yet inspirational celebration. We are showcasing a video honoring members of the Montgomery County's Latin American community, which, as our theme goes, are heroes among us who have been leading, healing, and providing hope during the pandemic. I want to thank our bilingual communications specialist, Lilian Mas, cameraman Raul Ramos, my staff, and Councilmember Alborno's staff for putting the celebration together. Among those who you will see highlighted in this video are Grace Rivera Oven, who launched the Up County Hub, along with Black Rock Center for the Arts. She's also now helping us in county government to expand the hub model. Mario Alvarado Villa, founder and executive director of INCAF, a nonprofit organization serving vulnerable youth and families. Oneida Hernandez, a student from the University of Maryland and founder of Audelia Community Response, that is helping families across the region. Sonia Mora of the Latino Health Initiative and members of the Latino Health Steering Committee. A valuable county employee, Sonia Mora is a public health professional who is leading the Latino COVID-19 initiative for Nuestra Salud y Bienestar. And the Latino Health Steering Committee are a group of dedicated health professionals who have helped, and they came together very quickly to launch this very important initiative. Jelitza Medina, she's a Venezuelan American nurse who got her certification as part of our Welcome Back Center program and is now caring for so many at Holy Cross Hospital. In general, all of our Latin American essential workers in the areas of medicine, healthcare, emergency responders, cleaning and maintenance, interpretation, COVID-19 testing, case management, helplines, and more. We thank them for coming together during this global pandemic in the spirit of generosity. I say it often, but it is even more important to repeat it loudly at this critical point in our history. Montgomery County's diversity, it's its strength. People from every corner of the globe come to our community seeking peace, stability, and a better quality of life for their families. In turn, they contribute greatly to our county's values of inclusion and compassion for one another. As we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, let's recommit ourselves to those values, because together we are stronger.
Thank you very, very much. Councilmember Albornoz.
Well, Councilmember Navarro said it absolutely beautifully, and it really does continue to be an honor to serve alongside her and call her a friend. I also want to send a special shout out to the members of my team, Lillian Cruz and Mayra Bayonet, who are incredible public servants and serve our community every single day. And I want to take a moment, well, actually a couple moments of points of privileges. One, I'm wearing pink today because it is my daughter Teresita's birthday. So a very special day. So she's turning 4 today. So shout out to her. And I brought something today that's pretty special to our family that my mom shared with me to bring with all of you. On October 15th, will mark the 49th anniversary that my mom became a United States citizen. And she shared with me the brochure and has kept all of the letters that she received at the time from the various elected officials that were in office at the time, and always remembers fondly and warmly that special day because it was a special day in our family. My dad received his citizenship 2 years later. My dad immigrated here from Ecuador, my mom from Chile. And I want to read a line from the letter that Congressman Sarbanes sent to my mom at the time. One of the greatest strengths of this nation is the splendid contribution which has been made by those born in other countries. I am certain you will continue that fine tradition and help to make the United States a better home for all people. Our Latino and immigrant population make contributions in every way imaginable, economically, culturally, and they have truly been on the front lines, as so many have during the pandemic. Service workers continuing to report to work to keep our economy moving and to clean and ensure that our facilities are safe. Healthcare workers who are providing critical translation services to multicultural populations. Public health leaders and economic leaders who have kept their businesses running and thriving and open and trying their best to continue to serve our community through this extraordinarily difficult time. So I stand, and all of us stand with all of you, but this is an opportunity for us to reflect and acknowledge the incredible contributions of our Latino community. And I am so proud of the people that we are recognizing today who each and every day make contributions that keep us safe, that keep us moving, and that make this community the strong community that it is. So Mr. Council President, thank you so much for that point of privilege, and I look forward to seeing the video this morning.
Thank you, and I do as well. And you know, many times Councilmember Albornoz, also Councilmember Navarro, but especially Councilmember Albornoz, brings up moments that I too get teary because of remembering things that have happened in my life. Both of my grandparents, all of my grandparents were made naturalized citizens. And I remember vividly my grandmother Wolfson, who had the store that I actually owned, how proud she was of the day, because I remember when that happened with her, how proud she was that she became a naturalized citizen. And I also remember that during, and Grace Rivera Oven is going to be on the call, and I always think of how much older I've gotten because I knew her, and I think since she was born, and know her for 3 generations. But when Grace will recall that we used to have what used to be Old Town Day in Gaithersburg, naturalized citizens as part of that ceremony. And Judge Jerry Hyatt, who has since passed away, he was a very, very fine man. And in those days, they let judges actually do the ceremony. Now, I don't believe they do, but Judge Jerry Hyatt turned to the crowd and said to them after he swore them in, and he was an imposing man. He was a large man. He said, you know, I had ancestors come over on the Mayflower, and no one is more of an American today. All of us are no more of an American today than in each of you. And it's always stuck in my mind. So thank you all for doing all of this. And let me stop speaking so we can actually see this video, please.
In the state of Maryland, Montgomery County has been the second hardest hit jurisdiction by the coronavirus. In the county, Black and brown communities have disproportionately felt the impact of this virus. The Hispanic community in particular has had the highest rate of infection, requiring an unprecedented policy response led by 2 fearless Latino leaders, Council Member Nancy Navarro and Gabriel Albornoz, with the support of their council colleagues. And hand in hand with the community-based organizations have provided much needed relief. On the front lines, there have been hundreds of essential workers, including all medical personnel, who day in and day out are fighting this invisible enemy, and in many cases, risking their lives to save the lives of others.
The United States has given a lot to a lot of countries, so I'm proud of being able to help and being part of the Hispanic community and help in those difficult times of COVID-19.
Thank you for risking everything and being away from your families to selflessly serve your community. Thank you for the long hours of work and every sweat and tear shed during this pandemic. Thank you on behalf of those who lost their battle, as you did everything humanly possible to provide care and support. Thank you for lifting up the Hispanic community during this pandemic and beyond. Certainly, Montgomery County is blessed to have angels on earth like you. During Hispanic Heritage Month, we especially want to honor all of our Hispanic heroes for leading, healing, and providing hope during this pandemic. An unstoppable force, that is Grace Rivera Oven, a Bolivian immigrant who has done nothing more than dedicate herself completely to the service of her community. For years, she has given her time and effort to help shape a more just and inclusive Montgomery County. For her, the year 2020 has not been the exception. The pandemic that paralyzed the world propelled Grace to reach new levels of service and fill in important gaps to better respond to the need of our Latino community. In partnership with Black Rock Center for the Arts, Grace brought together a community hub to bring access to much-needed essential items for children, families, and seniors impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. From distributing food to providing COVID detection tests, contact tracing, and access to telemedicine service. They are certainly saving lives.
This is a community that welcomed me and my family when we arrived here. And so it's a full circle, and I just feel like everything I have done in my life till today has prepared me for this moment. All the connections that I have made, all the boards that I have served on, all the commissions that I have served on. Everybody, that I know has been able to somehow impact the work that we're doing with the community.
An invaluable advocate for those who need it most.
Grace is what I call a warrior of the light. Her authenticity, passion, and purpose are things I admire in her. While COVID-19 has brought to light long-entrenched inequities, we have also witnessed a surge in leaders who are ensuring that the most vulnerable among us are taken care of. As we fight this pandemic, we have established new bonds and grown closer as a community. Endurers like Grace and those in the front lines are giving hope and elevating our humanity.
Neither the fear of being infected nor any other risk or challenge has managed to stop Grace's commitment. Her determination to give back to the community that has given her so much has motivated her own children to follow the same path.
It's great to work with family. My mother, being the director of all of this, is amazing as she's taken the lead and taken the charge and has seen the need in the community.
Our community is better off because of Grace. And during Hispanic Heritage Month, we honor her work and dedication to her community. She is truly a hero among us. In times of COVID-19, the most important factor to avoid the virus from spreading is cleanliness. Hundreds of Latino workers have been there to disinfect our hospitals, health clinics, office buildings, supermarkets, schools, and more. They have always been and will continue to be essential employees because their hard working hours is what allow us to have clean and livable spaces. Our lives depend on them. The lives of our healthcare employees have been in their hands now more than ever. There is no word that can describe the appreciation that as a county we feel towards each of them. Thank you very much for putting your own life at risk to ensure the welfare of others. Thank you because you have been boots on the ground since day one and have overcome your own fear of being infected. We feel safer because of you, and that is why you have become our VIP heroes. From the people and for the people is the phrase that best characterizes Mario Alvarado Villa. Hailing from Honduras and a taxi driver by profession, Mario has had an immeasurable impact within the Hispanic community of Montgomery County and surrounding jurisdictions. His nobility and empathy for those most in need leads him to give everything in exchange of nothing. At the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, Mario used his own savings to bring food to families that were in precarious situation, and with that same spirit, he organized his fellow taxi drivers. Together, and through the organization that he founded, INCAEF, they managed to get Montgomery County to grant them $60,000 as part of the earlier COVID-19 food assistance funding, spearheaded by council members Albornoz, Navarro, and Rice, and unanimously approved by the council. Mario used the funds to purchase and distribute culturally adequate food items for the families he served. This grant expanded his capacity from helping 100 low-income Hispanic families to more than 1,000.
El punto grande es que Dios lo utilice a uno, que sea uno esa persona que Dios diga como mira, te voy a dar la misión, llévale a él. O sea, ese es el punto importante. El dinero no es importante, el dinero es algo que en esta pandemia nos hemos dado cuenta. Mucha gente que tiene dinero se ha quedado el dinero ahí, ellos no han podido sobrevivir, tristemente, ¿verdad?
He has a unique perspective because as a Latino man from and of the community, he is able to truly grasp the magnitude of the need and respond to challenges that this vulnerable population is experiencing. And from there, he managed to understand that a large percentage of Hispanics and single mothers could not go to other food distribution sites since they require a car. So with fellow taxi drivers, they hand deliver food to their homes.
Yo le agradezco mucho, tanto a él y como tanto a la gente que a él le ayuda para que nos venga a dejar con nosotros.
Those who have seen his work and dedication know that what he does with his soul.
Mario is an angel. I am so impressed with his heart, his ability to connect to the community. It's clear that he sees a problem and he takes action. And it's clear that he's doing this for all the right reasons. And we need to do more to support Mario and people like Mario, because it's through these kinds of partnerships that we're really going to be able to make a difference in the community.
He claims that as long as he lives, he will continue to serve. For that reason, this county and the Latino community will always be grateful to this Hispanic hero.
No seamos solo críticos, sino portadores a la sociedad.
Coronavirus has taught us great lessons. It has pushed us to reach new limits, to discover new ways of survival, and above all, to be empathetic with our fellow neighbors. Many of our employees were forced to put their profession aside to serve in other areas of greater urgency. Many others have worked long hours in order to assist our residents in different ways, from mental health, county assistance applications, interpretation, housing, and more. Each and every one of you has played an important role during this pandemic. We are a county of excellence because of the work that you do. At the age of 24, Oneida Hernandez has proven to be an innate leader in her community. Her mother, who passed away recently, instilled in her the importance of giving a hand to those in need. And it is precisely what she has been doing non-stop since the coronavirus began to wreak havoc in the area. Hand in hand with her 7 siblings, they managed to establish a working group named in honor of their late mother, Community Help Audelia. In a few months, they already have 40 volunteers who provide all kinds of assistance to families at risk, from food, rent assistance, diapers, and even counseling.
These are hardworking families. They're not families that are here just to take up all the resources. They give back to the community, they put in their labor, they're trying to advance their own lives as well as their children's, and we're here just not to give them charity but to help them achieve that goal.
She has a clear understanding that the economic instability that many families face as a result of the pandemic and prior to it has great consequences not only in adults, but also leaves great emotional consequences for their children.
My mom is not working, so it's hard for us to buy food and stuff for us.
That is why every day she works hard to create real change in her community and bring little peace in the midst of so much anguish.
It means a lot for you to have somebody come into your house to deliver something that you need for you. I would say thank you for the job they are doing.
Oneida plans to establish a nonprofit organization so she can have greater impact in the community she loves and serves.
We're serving everyone in the community, not only the Latinx community, but anyone that is in need of help, we're willing to help. We're not here just to serve one specific community. We're here to help anyone that is in need of assistance for right now.
Without a doubt, Oneida Hernandez is a true Latino hero. The Hispanic force is incomparable. In 2020 has only proven that we are indispensable for the sustainability of this country and that we have the courage to face any challenge. We may have a long way to go, but we are certain that we will reach our final goal. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Well, congratulations to the entire team that put on the video to remind us of the entire team that we needed to hear about, to be reminded about, who are truly saving, as I said before, saving lives right here in Montgomery County. Councilmember Navarro or Councilmember Albornoz, did you have anything in addition to add?
I do. This was such a beautiful video. I think that the remarks that we heard really does capture the spirit of this community. And earlier there was a proclamation regarding bullying. And I think that it is not lost on me that the resiliency of this community, it's very much aligned with the stories of so many immigrants. President Katz, you mentioned your grandparents. And, I am also that person that in 1996 became a naturalized citizen. And everybody that has come to this country for so many generations comes with that spirit of generosity and of willingness to help one another. And this particular time is a very tough time for the Latino American community, not only because of COVID-19, but because of much of the rhetoric that is coming on from the very top leadership of this country. But nonetheless, you see the resiliency from young people like Oneida to somebody like Grace Rivera-Alvin, who's a staple in our community. We are not going to be discouraged. This community will not be discouraged. And as you saw from this young woman, her work is not just in helping the Latino community. They're there day in and day out, providing support for anyone that needs it. That's what gives me hope in these very difficult times. And I just want to thank the team from the County Council Communication Office, Berta Cersosimo, Mayra Cruz Solis from my office, who, have been also sheroes in this community, exemplifying this spirit, and everybody who day in and day out does whatever they can to lend that hand. Many we will not see or recognize, but they're there. And in that spirit, I just say, muchísimas gracias por esa generosidad de espíritu. Thank you.
So that was beautifully said. I just have a couple more words to add as well. I have had the opportunity to visit the Germantown Hub on several occasions, and I've seen with my own two eyes the incredible team that Gracie has put together that is serving our community. And one of the most enlightening and powerful days that I've had since the beginning of the pandemic was joining Mario on one of his runs to deliver food to families. And it was a powerful experience, both to see the challenges and despair felt by so many families, but also the light in their eyes as Mario knocked on the door and delivered these critical services and critical supplies that these families needed at the most opportune time. So it has been incredible. And I do want to take a quick moment to also acknowledge the entire steering committee of the Latino Health Initiative, Monica Escalante, Dr. Olivia Carter Pocras, Maria Gomez, Dr. Michelle LaRue, Dr. Ana Maria Izquierdo, Dr. Cesar Palacios, Maria Elena Rocha, Diego Riburu, and Nurse Yelitz Medina, who have been doing really remarkable work in coordinating the Nuestra Salud y Bienestar initiative, and have set up a model that I think the entire region and our entire country can follow to really uniquely support the needs of our most vulnerable communities. So this is a good day to recognize those and so many other people on the front lines, and a good day to recognize the incredible accomplishments and contributions of our Latino community here and across this country. And thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to all of our colleagues who continue to support us in so many ways. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's truly an honor to be here, and it's you know, it's always enjoyable, but this one had a special beyond just the normal. This one really did, and the fact that we couldn't see people face to face, it was different. But of course, we're so happy to be able to do all of this today.